One, two, three. Here we go. Here we go. Yo, I'm so excited because I have my best friend with me in the building. You know, my one of one, my teammate for life in the building. But before we get into the festivities, I gotta get my brothers in here because they bring us some special guests as well. So I'm elated, you know what I'm saying? Let me get my brothers in here. You know what I'm saying? We got my brother Jeffrey, you know what I'm saying? Oh!
Yo, 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 yo.
We got the Zigazat. We got the Zamores in the building.
We out here, man. What's up, sis?
That's what's up.
Cheers, bro. What's up?
What's up? What y'all
I see you
doing?
drink. I see you got that wine.
You know what I'm saying? We just own it. We in it to win it, you know?
Yo, now I feel like going to grab something to drink real quick, yo.
Hey,
No, don't worry. Here you go.
You got a little time to grab some.
Joey, take the wine.
You look. And Jesus take the wheel. Like let me get Anthony in here because I think
up,
he's a
Ayana?
special guest.
What's up, sis?
It's about to be lit. What's up? What's up, bro?
George, what's good, my guy?
Hey, Gertie.
It's a family affair up in here, you know. It's about to be unexpected.
It's a family affair. We gotta get one more in here.
It's a family affair.
You know, the family's in the building. You know, I'm when the Rockets in the building. Jeff, you gotta put it. No, I'm saying.
Oh, you already know. Yo, I'm trying to get to that Rock Nation brunch.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get an invite to the Rock Nation brunch.
Exactly.
Yo, holla at me, man.
I just
what's up, Marilinda?
Hey, boo boo.
Show up with my suit on. You know what I'm saying? You know, dapper. I'm still trying to get Anthony in here. Like, you know how he be.
You know.
Anthony's putting on his tie right now.
Yeah, he put on his best.
And the hat for the finishing touch.
You know, Anthony got to put
Anthony
that Thompson experience on here.
His head right.
Especially his wifey going to be on here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And Anthony's getting it together. You know how it go. How was y'all day so far? Thus far?
It was good, man. You know, just for me, I was just tired, man, all day. But it was good. It was good. Just a little fatigue, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, we got trifecta.
Why they look like they going out on a night out of town?
Yo, y'all look like y'all just got back from vacation.
Didn't I tell you Anthony was wearing a tie?
Yeah, man.
I heard it was a special occasion.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Tony, we half expected a fedora.
But, I ain't gonna lie, that's no cap. Before we get into this, like we're happy, we're joyous. We have to pray. We gotta pray before everything. The excitement is just overwhelming, I should say. So we're gonna start this out by setting it off, and I'm gonna elect my wife to pray. She didn't see this coming, but now
you didn't tell me this.
Yeah, I didn't tell you this before, but we
just was like, whoa, wait a minute. You got this, Beans.
Wait a minute.
You got this, sis.
I don't know. I feel like Janelle wants to pray though.
Look,
I just passing on the baton.
I really felt that. Janelle,
no, I really
pass it to the first lady.
I really feel like the first lady on the line.
You know, I feel that too. I feel it too.
Mrs.
You know they're talking about you, right, babe?
I don't know who they talking about.
I know they're talking about you.
You better claim
It was like,
Joey said, I'm just trying to get back to work.
You already know. Joey's like this.
She said, I'm that girl.
I can see my computer from here.
They just emailed me.
They just sent me an email. Okay.
Sabena.
Okay, fine.
Do us the honors.
Lord, forgive me for drinking before this. But God, we just welcome you into his life and let this be amazing. You know, forgive Anthony for laughing while I'm praying. But God, we just love you. We welcome you. Amen.
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 Okay. What time we get out of prayer meeting? You know, like, what's up?
Look up and down.
Yo, Fred, that was your pickup line?
Yeah, I said, what time
you saw Beans like,
what time you get out of church?
oh my
I was
God.
like, I carry your Bible, you know.
He said, "Yo, love is patient." Love is
And,
patient.
I was spitting the word. You got to spit the word to him, right, Jeff? You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, but
Yo, I
man,
love
I'm
this.
so first and foremost, to our village, to everybody, we want to welcome you to the Top Shelf Podcast, of course. But we got special guests in the building. We brought our teammates on. Like, this is my best friend. Wife, introduce
I'm
yourself.
gonna be your best friend.
This is my
Wait,
wife.
best friend?
Introduce yourself.
My name is Miss Collier. Yeah, and I'm joining my husband and Top Shelf, the amazing crew. I'm so proud of them. And yeah.
All right. Okay, what wife we got next?
Go ahead, babe.
Janelle.
You don't want to introduce yourself?
Hi,
All right, you want me to
everyone.
introduce you?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you already know I'm 1/3 of Top Shelf, but here I'm so excited to have my beautiful, beautiful chocolate drop that's sitting to the left of me, Miss Joannah Denise Zamor. You know, my better half, my BFF, man. I'm just glad that she's here with me so we can go ahead and have this conversation.
Ooh,
You
and
can
who
call
we
us
got?
Jay-Z for short, though.
And who we
So,
got?
how you doing, my
Last.
love? I have Mrs. Thompson here, my jerk chicken, my rice and peas,
Whoa,
my
whoa,
ox to my
whoa,
pig,
whoa.
Babe,
my
you didn't call me
seasoning,
He said that's his
I
golden
like the jerk
crutch.
chicken.
my peas. But I have my amazing wife here, and I'm so honored to have her on Top Shelf, our international brand. It is so amazing to have you.
Right.
But I want you to plug yourself in, baby. Do what you do best.
Come
Be
on.
great. Be amazing.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Thompson. I'm happy
Entrepreneur.
to be on tonight with you guys.
You know I'm paying for this.
Anthony's hungry and in love.
It's a billable hour.
And I want to salute your wife because she's an entrepreneur. You know, we got to congratulate.
Cheers.
Cheers to Janelle.
Yes. Salute to my sis, man.
You better go
We
with
on a
it.
water
Support
diet.
black
Day
business.
2.
Support black business.
Put that cup of ice down.
I got ice and water. Don't try to play me. Don't try to play me.
He said, "There's a drink in here."
Oh, man.
So, to get it started, y'all, ladies, we don't know if you guys know, we did a podcast. We just recorded a podcast recently that was about marriage. We talked about does marriage, we answered the question, does marriage make you happy or does it make you content? You know, and we answered that in our podcast, and we got into other subjects as well. But before we answer that question, we want to, give you guys that question. And before we get into it, we wanted to ask you guys, I wanted to get some perspective.
What's up, Ingrid?
From y'all perspective, right? When your husband's proposed to you, what was going through y'all mind? Did you guys already know? Was there a feeling? Was love in the air? You know what I'm saying? Like from y'all perspective, because we talked about this on our podcast, but how did y'all feel getting proposed to?
I want to hear this.
Yeah, I need to hear this.
Yo, the silence was real, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all went silent a couple minutes ago for the countdown.
I guess I
It sure wasn't, bro.
My proposal, did I know that it was coming? Yes. Was I surprised? Yes. So it was both, right? And Teray asked, "Were you ready?" Yes.
Ooh, good question.
So,
You was ready?
yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like when I'll give a little backstory. So it was
give the backstory. Like,
the blend on the water.
Oh, okay, yeah, that blend on the water. Okay, you give that backstory.
Okay.
I guess there's a story that Anthony does not want to be revealed.
Blend on the water. I can't do it. It was blend on the water in Long Island City. It was a day. Initially, it was just supposed to be me and some friends going to actually celebrate another friend's occasion. And so we went out to dinner, we ate, and one of my friends kept ordering drinks, right? Like we closed the bill, but she ordered another drink. Right? And if you guys have drank a Banana Water, it was one of the ones that it was like, it's the huge one too. So we're like, yo, we just closed the tab. Like, how you gonna order another drink? So she orders another drink, but she was stalling because he was getting ready in the back. And so we walked outside. And then when we got outside, we're like, oh, let's take some pictures.
What's up, Princess? What's up, Gabby?
Hey, Gabby.
Hey, Gab. So we were going to take some pictures by the water. So this lady comes over to us and she was like, hey, I'm doing a women's campaign shoot. We were all dressed up. She was like, I want to do a picture of you guys. Would you mind? So we're like, sure, why not? So she was like, okay, there's a perfect spot. So she starts taking some pictures and then she was like, let's walk over by the Coca-Cola sign. So we're like, cool. So we start walking. And then I actually remember Ms. Zamor took my phone and she took my phone and my bag. And she was like, and I heard music playing in the background. And so music was playing in the background. And I see friends and family, and each friend and family had a rose for me. And so it's like he was.
Oh, wow.
And then in the middle, it was like rose petals. And my spiritual father was in the middle as well with him. And I was in tears. Like by the time I got to the third person, I was just crying. Like I was just in tears. So was I surprised? Yes. But did we talk about marriage? Did we talk about being engaged? Did we talk about those things? Yes. And so I think my readiness was also from a state of like, we had went through pre-engagement counseling at our church. And so having some of those harder conversations, we had asked the hard questions already in our relationship earlier. And so, yes, I was ready. I was surprised, and I also still knew in some shape or form. Like it wasn't like a complete shock. Like we never talked about it or anything. We had those conversations.
I love it. I love it. You better go. So
wait, Anthony's asking a question.
Oh,
Don't try to get brownie points, Anthony.
No, I was like, damn, that was good.
So Anthony, to let me understand this. So you gave her the Thompson experience?
Yeah, yes. She's the first Thompson experience.
And the last
experience got birthed because of me.
There you go.
You can't give the Thompson experience to everybody.
No. Just her.
All right. Who's next, ladies?
I'll go because it's going to go in order. You know?
Okay.
Oh, in the order that it happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
You know. So Fred and I we did pre-engagement counseling like Janelle and Anthony did with a pastor at the time. And then, so my feeling was, I knew, I kind of had an idea because Fred, he said he left his credit card at the barbershop. You know, when you go to the barber, you don't use a credit card, you use cash.
Oh, you can though. You can though.
Okay, you can now.
Okay.
And then he was being really, 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 really like weird. Like he would be, oh babe, I'm stepping out, I'm gonna go grab this. And then he was like doing arts and crafts, like poster signs. But the part that threw me off was then he took me to get my nails done. That's the biggest giveaway. But the reason why I kind of was just like, I didn't know if he was gonna do it yet because we had a conversation before, and he was like a few months ago expressing how he was like getting cold feet. And he was like, can I provide? Am I ready for this? Like, I haven't seen marriage in my life, in my family. And he was just like, I guess this is what guys go through. He was just getting cold feet. And I was like, nigga, we've been dating.
Whoa.
And I was like,
we
are a Christian podcast.
She a whole thug now. She a bit more now.
I was like, we've been dating, and I was like, I was ready. I was ready for it, and I saw him getting cold feet, but so that's the only reason why I wasn't sure if he was going to do it. And also, he tricked me when his sister was walking me down. It was a lock bridge. Ooh, lock bridge. It was a lock bridge, and so at the end of the bridge, we were in Kansas, and there were a whole bunch of locks at the end of the bridge, and you could see all the water and. The locks, pretty much, you locked it and you threw away the key. Like, you can't unlock it anymore. It's just like solidifying your bond. Ayana.
That's my niggas.
Yo, word up.
This is a Christian podcast, but yeah. So, when I got there, everyone was standing there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna propose." But then they had signs, and it all said "Happy Birthday" because this was around my birthday too. So I was like, "Oh." But then it was like that awkward, like everybody was just like this, and I was like, and everybody's phone was just in your face. And I was just like, "Oh, this is happening," and that's how I feel. But yeah.
And how did you feel about it, Vince? Like, how would you describe your feeling?
I was it was very nervous. I was nervous. It's a moment you want to happen. When it finally happens, you freeze. I froze. I didn't know what to think. I started crying. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, "Oh my gosh, did I dress okay for this event?" Like, just all the typical girl things that go through your mind. But I froze, and then I had to pause and then just like drill into the moment that was happening, and that's when it really hit me. Like, oh snap, this is happening.
And we were on FaceTime, the family.
Oh yeah, my whole family was on FaceTime. And I was like, "Oh, this is happening," and it was beautiful.
What am I longing for?
Oh, you played my favorite reggae song.
Yeah, it was great, man.
That's
it was
dope.
Great times. What about Miss Zamor?
So ours happened over the Thanksgiving holiday. I went to Orlando because that's where his immediate family lives. So like his mom, his dad, his brother and sister, all the nieces and nephews. And we had my stepdaughter with us, Gabby, who's on here. Hey, Gabs. Where was it that we went? We went somewhere with his sister on Thanksgiving Eve. Disney Springs. It was so beautiful because they already had like Christmas decorations up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if he's going to propose, this is the perfect spot to do it. Everything is decorated, like, but nothing happened. So I didn't press it. And we were out there for, like over 2 hours just walking.
Yeah, it was out there for a little bit.
Sightseeing, being full on tourist. I was enjoying myself, but secretly wishing that he did it there.
I didn't know that.
Okay. I did.
Oh,
you learned something new.
Because his sister was with us, and I know Stephanie would have pulled out her phone and recorded the entire moment.
Definitely would.
Yeah.
Shout out to my sis.
But let me tell you what my wonderful husband did. He waited until we were heading back and we got in the parking lot. I got in the passenger side of the car and Gabby's in the back seat and I'm talking to her about something. And out of nowhere, my passenger door opens up and this guy is on one knee with a ring talking about, "Will you marry me?"
I'm down with bended knee.
In the parking lot.
He said, "Meet me at the altar."
Okay.
So it was a very intimate moment, which I appreciate in hindsight because it was the three of us, because it's a journey for the three of us. He and I and Gabby, and she was in shock and I was in shock and I was like, "Gabby, how do you feel?" She was like, "I don't know."
I love it.
Well, I have a question. Can I switch?
Well, go ahead.
How did you guys feel? And let's start in reverse, Jeff.
Well, honestly, Beans, if you really want to know our answer, you should listen to our podcast that's coming on tomorrow.
Good call.
Very
podcast.
good point.
That's a good point, bro.
Right, fellas.
Beta really wanted the answer to that
I have to
question.
back up my bro.
But if you want to know the live answer,
Stay tuned.
We can give the live answer.
Yeah, we give a live answer. So for me, the way I felt that day, like, it was crazy because, we're down in Orlando. It's like the second time she's actually meeting like my family. But they already had took her in and showed so much love. Obviously, her and Gabby, they already spend so much time with each other. So I already knew it. We've been talking about marriage. We already did like our pre-engagement counseling.
Shout out to Pastor Ernst.
With Pastor Ernst. Shout out to Pastor Ernst. My pastoral twin. You know what I'm saying? So we had just completed, I think maybe like a week or two before. So to me, I felt that she wouldn't be surprised because this was a conversation that we were been having, and we knew that this is something that we wanted to do. But obviously, I still wanted to surprise her. So I wasn't really nervous. but I think for me, it was just more like, all right, I just want to make sure that this is right. Not so much me proposing to her. I knew that was right, but just like the setup and doing it was like she was going to enjoy it because obviously this is going to be like, you know, she's been waiting for this. Like most women, you wait for that moment where the man of your dreams is going to, you know, get on his knees and actually ask you to be his, you know, his wife. And I wanted to include my daughter into it because, you know, she's part of my journey. Obviously, she's part of my life. That's my homie right there. Just my little BFF, and I want her to feel included. So she actually came up with the idea for me to do it the way I did it. Yeah, she's the one that actually came with the idea. Even though she was still a little shocked, because I think like she knew it was going to happen, but it was still like a surprise.
Right.
But it was just all those different dynamics, and you know, I touch a lot more on it when we actually during our podcast. But for me, I was very excited to actually do it because Fred and Anthony were the only ones that knew, and JoJo. The only ones who actually had a ring.
Why does JoJo always know?
They're the only I had the ring for like over a month.
Her name is
You know what I'm saying? I had it for over a month sitting there. So they're the only ones that knew. Because I couldn't have no information leaked out, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was happy. I was excited because I was just thanking God that, you know, I was giving another chance because I was married before. And I was very grateful that he gave me a second chance. And, you know, at this thing called love and black love at that with my chocolate drop. So
that's beautiful.
I just want to know, side note, what is chocolate drop?
Don't worry about that, bro.
Oh, okay.
The chocolate drop is me. I am chocolate drop.
Listen.
The people wanted to know what chocolate drop is.
Listen. Focus on the jerk chicken and oxtail. You know what I mean? You know, oxtail and gravy, rice and peas and white rice. You see it?
That's it.
No problem, man.
That's true. I got me a light Hershey's Kiss over here. That's all I but no, for me, coming from my perspective is like, yo, me and the fellas were talking about this, like how nervous and how much planning goes into proposing. It is the most pressure in the world because you think to yourself all of the planning, you think to all of the people you don't want it to get out, you don't want nobody to know. Like that's the hardest part because like I thought that I was supposed to propose to Beans at her 30th birthday party. I was like, God, right now, and I told Beans this. I was like, God, is it right now? And everybody thought I was going to do it then too. And I was like, God, is it now? And God was like, nah, son, nah. Like, there's still some things that I need to do in you, and we still had to get through premarital counseling as well, right? And so I was like, okay, I hear you. And we, you know, I think something that solidified it for me was just seeing other couples around me too. Was seeing Anthony and Janelle get married. Like it was huge because it was such a beautiful symbol of love, and it was just so much love surrounding you guys. Like it was like even
when we got to Barbados,
even Anthony inviting me to be in his wedding was huge for me because I was just like, Anthony, I've known you for 17 days. Don't do that. I was like, what is your last name? No, but I think more than anything, it was very nervous because it's like trying to tell everybody, like, hey, keep it low. The only person I told was her father. Like, I was telling Beans' father about, yo, I know when I want to do it. Then I went back home, told my family, and I was like, I want to make Beans a part of our family. You know, and
that's beautiful.
They were like, yeah, we want her more than you. I was like, that's cold. You know what I said? And then when it came time to propose, I think I was just like really, really scared, like really, really frightened because it's a huge decision. And like me and Beans had a conversation that day and it just was like, yo, this is my wife. Like for real, like I don't want to let this go. Like I don't want to live without this. You know, I don't want to learn to live without somebody I can't live without, you know? So I said to myself, like, I'm going to step up. And it I had to make it a point. Like I had to do it around my family. Marriage there's not a lot of marriages that I grew up around.
Well, I gotta go after him.
I only saw it on TV. So like I did it in front of my mom who wasn't married to my father. I did it in front of my sister who hasn't seen marriage. And I did it in front of my nephews who haven't seen marriage. I did it in front of my friends who haven't seen marriage. Your goddaughter. Like my goddaughter. Like to break chains. You know what I'm saying? And it went perfectly. Like it went perfectly in my hometown and including her family. And I just it just once I proposed, I was like, woo, thank God, it's over.
What my hand is
Yo, there's that relief, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
Exactly,
there's that
right?
relief. You like, whoo.
I was like, she said yes, she didn't say no. So you know what I'm saying? And I'm good. What about you, man?
Yo, that was beautiful, bro. Mine was short and sweet. And I think it's short and sweet because I was finally at peace. I think the whole setup, I would call it a Thompson experience. If you ever been to a Thompson experience, you know I want to give that person my everything. And when I saw my wife, my future wife, she was my everything. And if anybody's around Janelle, you feel a sense of peace.
Yeah.
You feel a sense of peace. And I remember someone looked next to me and said, yo, bro, you not nervous? I'm like, you been around Janelle? Like, that's a sense of peace. Like, I was in peace. So I love my wife now. I love my wife.
Sam?
I love this. I'm just enjoying her presence. And the reason why I did it and where I did it is because, one, it's next to the water. One, the sunlight. It was just God was a part of it. So, yeah, I definitely
Anthony,
was at peace.
Anthony, I meant to tell you, when we were in Barbados, there was one question that Janelle asked me that put me at peace. She was like, Fred, are you hungry? I was like, yes. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Ooh.
Was that before?
We in Barbados too. We're your aunts. We're your aunts.
That's before and after the gummy bear.
Oh man.
No, but honestly, and I can end it off. It's just finding your person, and Janelle was my person, and that's why I knew. I wasn't nervous. I knew this was the right thing.
I love
everything just lined up.
Yeah, I wanted to say that Jeff asked two beautiful questions during the podcast episode. Yeah. Jeff, you may not remember. But I remember
about tomorrow though.
I went back in the files. So two of the questions, and I want to impart these to you ladies. One was, what is the biggest thing that you've learned, the biggest lesson you've learned from being married?
Oh yeah.
Remember?
I did ask that. Very good
the
question.
biggest lesson you learned from being married, and what's one thing you can work on? And we just want y'all to, have at it. The biggest lesson you learned from marriage.
Don't go too fast.
Don't run it all at one time. Ladies, don't be shy. There's a lot of crickets in here.
And if you are in, and while our beautiful wives are thinking, if you're in the chat, what do you learn? Let's have a conversation in the chat. What did you guys learn? Because at Top Shelf Podcast, we are a village. So we also want to know what you guys learned in your journey.
Yeah. I know we putting you guys on the spot.
I know you should have told me these questions before.
I ain't never gonna tell you.
Wow, you sound like Janelle.
Janelle, like I would have wrote a dissertation. Like, are you crazy, Anthony? Are you dumb? Like,
While Joannah said, "Okay, honey."
So you know what? So let me ask my wife this question. What is the biggest thing that you've learned so far in our marriage?
The biggest thing that I feel like I've learned a lot in a very short period of time. For those who don't know, we had a very short engagement. Mm-hmm. Like got engaged Thanksgiving Eve, and was married before Christmas.
Yeah, it was mad quick.
So it's been what, like 4 months?
4 months.
4 months that we've been married. So we're newbies, and we're loving it. The biggest lesson I've learned is the importance of community and doing life with other couples. We were already in that habit before we got married, but now that we're married, I see the importance of that even more so, to have that support, because as much as I love him and adore him, it's great to have other people to glean from, and other people who are further along than us, to gain wisdom from, to come alongside us, to pray, to laugh, and just to do life with. It makes it so much easier. And I feel like it's been such a joy to be married to you.
Just a side note, do you have a
the
name
part
for
of
him?
the question?
The other part of the question is, what is one thing that you feel that you could improve on? Or
this is easy. My communication skills. I thought that I was the world's best communicator before I met him. Man, did he prove me wrong. There were times throughout our courtship where it got really uncomfortable, because he would confront me on things that no one's ever really confronted me on in that way. But definitely with the communication piece, because I know I'm not the only one guilty of it. Sometimes we think we've shared something, but we said it in our head. We didn't actually say it to our partner. And he's like, you never talked to me about this. And I was like, you sure? Because I thought we had this conversation, but I really had the conversation with myself in my head. I never actually told him. So I'm learning to be a better communicator for sure, because he's more direct and straightforward. And in that regard, had to learn to serve the truth with love. And I am less confrontational, and therefore, and I am a processor, so I can't always have the conversation right then and there. I need time to process, but we're learning. I feel like we're in a group where we found a middle ground, when he knows not to push too much, depending on the subject, time, and place. And there are times where I'm like, okay, even if this is uncomfortable, I know he needs to have the conversation right now, so we'll just deal with it right now. So communication is the biggest piece.
I love that. I didn't
think that was gonna be her answer. I thought she was gonna say being on time for stuff.
Wow!
I didn't hear you, bro.
Oh, shots fired!
What you say?
Shots fired!
I thought she was gonna say being on time.
I am not the only person with that problem on this live.
Oh, shots at
I'm an instigator.
Look at Tony's face.
You gonna let her
I don't
talk to
got
you
no
like
water
that,
in there, but I'm gonna drink for that.
We in this together. We learning together.
The top shelf villain be fasting for that.
Yo.
I love it. I love it.
What was your friend? What was the first question?
It was what did we learn? It was what did
biggest
we learn?
lesson you learned?
What's the biggest lesson or a lesson that you've learned from being married so far?
For me, I would say adjusting expectations, right? And we were actually having this conversation with some friends yesterday.
Man.
And I think expectations, like you come in, right, with the expectation of what you've either grown up and seen, right, what you've experienced. And sometimes those expectations, like we had counseling and we communicated some of what we thought those roles would look like. Talking about it and then getting married and living together and living it is two different things. And so I think getting adjusted to that was a huge thing. We got married a year later was the pandemic. So I think for us that was the other piece of adjusting to expectations, but then also in a pandemic being together 24/7, right? And so it was good, but then it was also stressful as well. And so I think having some of those conversations around what our expectations were, what we thought, because we're both coming from a West Indian background, but things were still different, right? And so having to adjust in those things, what I thought a role of a husband is, what he thought a role of a wife was, like partnership, like how we gonna juggle things, right? Versus like, oh, you want me to like, it's only me, all right, only me. Nah, it's not working for me. Right? So let's have a conversation.
Now, don't give too much now.
Janelle, like, I only gotta cook.
I'm being honest.
I gotta wash the dishes too.
I'm being honest.
No,
like,
baby, I want you to be honest.
So like part of that was really adjusting to some of those things and like being able to articulate it, and then also for me to say like I'm a partner, right? Like what does that look like for me to be your partner?
That's
not
good.
your mom's, not like
good.
I'm being honest.
I need to stick to this.
It's getting hot in here.
Anthony's eyes going up.
Yep,
I think Anthony got 2 shades darker.
Sweating.
So that's what we want at Top Shelf Podcast. We want transparency. So, baby, do your thing, baby. You're doing a great job, by the way.
You already know, right? So, like just understanding what that looks like, what it means for someone to be your partner.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, every marriage is going to be different, right? Every relationship is going to be different. And so even taking things, advice from family, from friends, from other couples we know, but still having to make it right and really decide, like, does that work for us? Personalities, different things of that nature. So I think that was probably the biggest thing. The other question was, what do we have to work on?
Yep.
I would say for me, it's going to be similar to what my twin Jeff said in terms of like being able to say something, right? Well, Joannah was talking about Jeff, right? Being able to, when you're a straight shooter, but then giving some grace onto it, right? And so I would just say something straight out, like, you my partner, you're not going nowhere, like you locked in, like this is what it is, right? And so I would say something, and then he would take it some type of way, right? And so I think, being able to articulate truth, but with grace, like truth with a sense of like softness as well. I think it's something that I'm continuing to work on, because sometimes I'm just like, the West Indian in me is like,
or
all the way up here.
You a nigga on the low.
You a nigga on the low.
And it's the Bayesian side in her. And I'm
It's
talking
the
about the
Bayesian for
intelligent
me.
people.
Yo.
And I will say this, in counseling, we went to counsel with Kimmy did our pre-engagement counseling, and we talked about it. She was like, she talked about like how some of that we got to tone down a little bit and change a little bit. And it had to be like, one of the biggest things I will say is tone. Like, I grew up like talking with my friends and my family, and it was just like, they just loud naturally, right? And so I may be thinking I'm just having this conversation, and then I'm up here, and so when I get into a disagreement, it's the same thing. And he's like, you're yelling. I'm like, I'm not yelling at you. We're going back and forth about the yelling. Like, nobody's yelling at you. Like, this is just where I'm talking at. And so learning to pay attention to my own tone, pay attention to my own, like hearing myself and being able to, all right, maybe you gotta bring it down a little bit. Like, just a little bit, Like,
Because you loud right now.
But I'm not as loud as you. You be taking it to a whole new level.
Welcome to the
And
company.
guys, that's what marriage is all about right there.
That's it. That's a lesson.
That's a
No,
lesson.
I don't have to say anything.
What's up, Cordelia?
What's up,
Cordy?
What's up, sis?
Hi, sis.
Cordy. Janelle, you done?
Yes.
You don't said my whole list, but let me add to it.
It's only two, and it was only 2 years and 10 months.
It was like 5 answers I counted. No, honestly, again, yes. I had to learn patience. I had to be, I could be a little aggressive.
I got the trip.
Yeah, I got it.
Anthony, I could be a little aggressive, and I had to like pretty much unlearn what I saw growing up. So just a quick, now to put everything out there.
Celeste.
What's up, Celeste?
Hey, Sal. I was so used to seeing women like dominant, like they were always dominant in a relationship. And And so I had to unlearn that. And I thought I was in a good place. When I got married, I was like, oh, snap. I have to learn this all over again. And Fred and I, for anyone who doesn't know, we're going on 2 years in September.
September.
So I had to learn how to be patient with him and be patient with, and know that he makes flaws. He makes mistakes. He's not perfect. And to accept him for that, because I kind of like put him on, not a high hustle, but I did have you up here, babe. And when he made a mistake, it was like, Fred made a mistake. And so I had to learn that he makes mistakes and he's not perfect and he's human. I also had to learn that I couldn't wear my old lady nightgowns. You know,
nah, I'm done with you.
I was so wearing.
Y'all know what I'm trying to do.
Not your move.
I'm so used to wearing grandma clothing. Y'all don't understand. I love comfort. If anybody knows me, like, I love comfort. So Fred threw them away, and you know, we set our expectations, because we had, you know, when you're married and you're living with someone like Janelle, I think you mentioned it, you're seeing each other 90% of the time in house clothes, and we had to, you know, spice it up. So that's what we do now. So we had to set those expectations. You know, he put them on me.
You should have had them on here too. Word up.
He put them on me, and I put them back on him. So he has, you know, he had to spice himself up too. No ball shorts, you know, and then
brief.
Brief.
There.
You sound mad Jamaican.
Brief.
And a big thing that
you know Rick Ross over here.
All right.
Them a brief.
Them
a brief.
He was wearing panties? No.
Who said I was wearing panties? No.
What's up, Patricia? What's up, Cuzzo?
Gotta be freaky, but not that freaky.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
But the biggest thing that I did learn was to go through my discomfort with Fred. Like, insecurities that I still had, even though I was married, I still had insecurities. We dealt with them together. I didn't deal with it personally. Fred has literally become my best friend because of that. Like, he just knew everything. There was no hiding. It was full transparency. And I think that brought us so much closer. Every thought, literally, we just share everything. I don't know. We just share everything. So
the best policy.
That was something that I learned, that he was my safe place. And that, besides God, that I can go to him and just like literally just release and share everything. And that taught me that, it taught me a lot about Fred. Like, he literally does not judge. Like, he's a good-hearted dude right here. And it gave me, like, so that's a big part that I learned too in the 2 years. Like, just, I can tell Fred anything.
I love it.
Anything.
Transparency. Yeah. That's the best policy.
Oh, God.
So, guys, with our podcast dropping tomorrow, tomorrow's Top Shelf Tuesday.
And it's hilarious.
I gotta put.
That's what I be trying to.
What you said? Being naked 24/7 is a vibe.
I be trying to convince him.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Hey,
shake
well,
it,
you got
shake
your
it.
own spot.
Hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta spice.
You don't have to do.
Don't go on a vacation with the Thompsons. I'm naked all the time.
He is. Believe him.
I told you,
Anthony be walking around.
Yo, we be on calls. Anthony, like, let me put a shirt on. I'm like, nigga. I'm playing. So,
you have to have guts to live in America.
Hey, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, I think marriage is a journey, man.
Yes, I am. You literally don't have to wash clothes.
If you slept with no clothes on, we'd have less laundry.
Marriage is a journey.
I like to keep the clothes on. Live.
It's a battle I know I'm not gonna win, so it is what it is.
She said it is what it is. Yo, Jeff go to sleep with a bulletproof vest on.
And that's his Bible.
Yeah, I know Fred is gonna violate. Fred.
Oh, man.
She's out from Brooklyn. Up there. Wait. A question for the ladies from Shanique. She said, what action steps did you take to make those necessary changes, such as expectations or gender roles, and practicing patience?
Please, Ayana, please talk to him.
The boss go. No, Ayana is wilding right now. She's wilding for respect.
Yo, that's my sis, man. Yo, that's my sis. Oh man.
Oh, the balls gotta be free. Pause. But
the balls gotta be free. But Shanique had a great question, ladies.
What's the question?
And it's one more time. What action steps
good,
do you
boo?
take to make those necessary changes, such as expectation or gender roles, and practicing patience?
I'll start. Communication. So, like, literally, we talked about everything. So if there was an area that Fred seen that I can be better in, like as far as like, babe, let me handle this, let me do this. I literally made it my business to be mindful of that. Get out of my face. I literally made it my business to be mindful of that and to like to let him run it. It took everything in me to just be like, to sit back, but I had to. And when I did that, the more I did, the more I realized that I didn't have to do it.
Sure. And I wanted to say too is like, I think that's a hard thing for men to do, because it's a sense of pride. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes, like you want to be like, yo, I got this, I can handle it. And you want to tell your wife like, yo, like I got this, let me handle it. And you know, I don't feel like your wife is judging you or criticizing you, but there's times where it's like she can see and handle a certain situation better than you can. And so sometimes you gotta like, hey, okay, if you think you can do this better, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna try to like, if I know that I can't, like if I'm doing this and I'm trying it 100 different ways and it doesn't work, and my wife is like, yo, let me try it. I'm gonna let her try it. I'm gonna step back and be like, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that doesn't make me feel weak in any way, because I know that we're a team.
Yeah.
And I love this woman with all my heart.
Yeah, it was literally just to Shanique taking the everything in you to take the step back and just let them lead.
Yeah. I agree with Sabena. I think a big piece of it, like you said, mindful, right? And like being really mindful of your response, right? And being mindful enough to like listen to what your partner is saying in the moment, because sometimes when you argue, you're just being defensive, right? Like you're going back and forth, you're not really hearing what your partner is saying. And so really pausing and being mindful enough to say, what is my strong point in this relationship? What is my partner's growth area in the relationship? And like navigating those two things, and then having intentional conversation with each other to be like, okay, where can we, you know, partner in this? Where can we recognize like, yo, we're, like you're saying, we're a team, right? And so we got to move like a team. And so I'm not going to make a move that I didn't discuss with you. You're not going to make a move that you didn't discuss with me. And really getting to a space of like to have those concrete conversations about things. And even when it's uncomfortable, right? Even when things are uncomfortable and it may feel like, to Fred's point, that pride piece is coming in, right? Where it's like, oh, I gotta maintain this, but like we're better together than apart, right? Like we're better together than try to do something one by ourselves. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I know we've done together. And then the other one that I would say is really just giving the other person time to get there. Like, I think there are some things you're going to talk about and have conversation, and you're not going to see the result right away, and giving space for that person to get there. And I think that's, for me, I would say, to answer this other person's question. I just see the question. It says,
that's Cordelia.
Oh, Cordelia. Christ, that's where Christ comes in for me. Like, there were some things that I just had to pray about and be like, yo, Father, deal with your son. Talk to your son.
And your daughter.
I'm done, right? Like, go talk to your son. And and let the Lord kind of take time to move in that area. And I would say for all the different things that have come up in our own marriage in the past almost 3 years, that has been a thing where like I was just like, all right, I'm not gonna keep talking about this. Now I'm just gonna like, let me just pray about this and really talk to God about this, and He will move on His heart and vice versa. So,
and I think if I could add on real quick, when we put God in the forefront, there's a whole shift. Like the conversation was smooth. There's no defense. It was like, okay, honey, I'm acknowledging what you're saying. How can I change? Okay, honey, what can we do different? And there was a lot of understanding and not responding.
That's good, eh?
Come on, say it again for people in the back, Anthony.
Somebody listen to the podcast.
I can't.
That's good. I think I wanted to say something to that too. It's like I think it's expectations versus reality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of you know, guys. I say this all the time. It's like it's always a thing of like, okay, what we expect to happen, which is like, okay, this is what I expect. I expect to have something cooked when I come home, right? Which is like in my mind, I'm not taking into account the day that she had. I'm not taking into account like what she's been through. I'm just thinking about my needs. I'm thinking about like, okay, I'm hungry, so I'm coming home and I'm gonna eat. Like I hope that something is smelling good when I come into the apartment, right? And then I come in and then I'm thinking about me. I'm just thinking about me. And I think I had to adjust that kind of thinking. I had to adjust the dial on that kind of thinking of just like, okay, let's do this together. Like, what do we want to eat? Like, what do we need to do? Like, do you want to make something together? Do you want to make something together, or like how can we do this? Like, cause for a while, like, you know, when you're used to something, it becomes routine. Yeah. You know, and you just be like, oh, she gonna cook today because she always cooks, or she gonna do it today because she always do it. You know what I'm saying?
But real quick, a thing that I did do to help meet his expectation as well, I didn't just disregard it. I was like, you know what? Let's get meals that you can quickly put in an air fryer. Let's get things that you can quickly make.
Hey, Pastor Arts.
During the
hey,
lunch.
Pastor.
What's up, Pastor Ernst?
Our counselor.
You know, I can't even see anybody else now.
So I met him in the middle by making sure when I did groceries, there was quick meals that he can grab and make those days that I couldn't because of work. Right. So I was also like thinking like, wow, I set that expectation up for him. Let me just try to like find alternatives.
Or we do a thing where it's like, I'll do breakfast. Like I'll make breakfast because I'm like, that's what I'm good at. That's what I do. Don't go in between. Don't ask for lunch. Don't ask for dinner. No tuna. Don't ask for nothing. Ask for just breakfast. I'm like, if you want breakfast at night, we can do breakfast at night. Like, whatever you need.
It's 2 o'clock somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, over here, we actually,
it's a whole different day.
We actually argue over here like who's going to cook, and not sense of like not want to cook. It's really like so Joannah, she goes to the office Monday and Friday.
And what? Tuesday through Thursday.
Sorry, the other way around. My fault. Monday and Friday she's home. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday she's in the office. Me, I work from home, right? So she'll be like, when she's in the office, she'll actually like, oh, you know, when I come home, I'll cook you something what you want to eat. I'm like, for what? I will cook because I feel like it's unfair for her to come home from a long day at work and go in the kitchen, cook something where I'm working from home. I can actually cook and make sure that there's a meal that's prepared for her. So a lot of times we had to even learn how to like adjust that, even when it came to like some of our duties around the house, as far as like cleaning and things like that or whatever, especially washing dishes. We have like it's almost like having a good product because we both want to make sure the house is clean and so forth. And I'll be like, babe, I'm doing the dishes. She's like, no, I'm gonna do the dishes. Like, no, I will do the dishes because I'm looking at it again.
Zach, can I get that
working from home, and she's out in the office. What's going on here? What am I missing?
I said, could I get that problem?
Yeah, Jackie said,
oh yeah, I don't want to do. And she could.
Yo, Q, what's going on,
we
bro?
literally will argue about this. And like, I was like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you picking up dishes for? I will wash the dishes. Again, you was in the office. I'm working from home. I got this, because at the end of the day, it's like, I want her to not feel like there's an extra thing that she has to do when she gets home. And she has a husband who is home, working from home,
I
who
gotta
can handle
answer
it.
No. So I want to
Oh
just
my
add on what
gosh.
you're saying, Jeff. Jeff, I want to add on what you're saying. And this is the interesting way. So it's a vice
I
versa.
wish I could see these comments, man.
Yo, Jeff, I wish you could see the chat round. It's
Yeah,
really
I can't see
funny.
the chat no more. I gotta look at
Right,
wifey's phone.
so
See
just
what's
listen.
going on
You can
over
see
there.
it. You can see it, bro.
Now I'm seeing it now.
All right, just listen to what I'm
Oh
about to
boy.
say. So I'm working. So I work from, I work
I
from
make
school and things
breakfast
of that
too.
nature. So
Wow.
that's 7 to 4. So I get home. I'm like, yo, Janelle, why you ain't clean the dishes? In my head. So, but I don't take into
in your
account
head. Okay.
what Fred was
Really
saying.
so,
It's like, what was she doing throughout the whole day? Because she worked from home.
Working.
Exactly.
But I'm like, I'm confused.
He think when I'm working from home, he think I'm just twiddling my thumbs. Out here.
But,
I was
you know what is with me also is like, because like I'm very independent.
No.
But yo, you know what is with me also is like, because I'm independent. I'm used to kind of taking care of myself, so I don't have the expectation, and never had the expectation that, okay, that I have a partner now that my duties are done. She's going to be doing all these quote unquote wifely duties, cooking, cleaning, rubbing my feet, rubbing my back. And mind you, Joannah will do it with no question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she loves to serve me. But, pause, I don't want you to get the wrong idea. But the thing is,
Get the wrong idea.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey,
Okay, calm down, babe. Calm down, babe. Calm down.
Hey, calm down, babe. Where the hand going? Let me see the hand.
That's for after hours conversation.
He's like,
all right.
That's that BET Uncut.
Yes, that's the BET Uncut right there.
Please excuse my hand.
But I'm so used to kind of like taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to add on to this, babes. But I'm so used to take care of myself. I don't have the expectation of doing it. So if I'm hungry, I'm going to cook. And I'm always asked, like, what do you want to eat? Because it's like, why sit there and wait for her to do it when she's going to come home and I'm at home? Even if I have a busy day, I want to make sure that she gets the Zamor experience. You get what I'm saying? I want to make sure that she's good, because she's my better half. She's my partner. Just like I know if I'm out, if I had to go back into the office, start working, and she's home, I know she'll take care of me when I get home. She'll make sure, okay, there's a plate of food waiting for me, even though I don't have the expectation she's going to, but I know it's like, hey, she scratched my back, I scratched hers, but I don't have the expectation that's how it has to be. It's like, we're going to make sure that we're good either way.
Right.
yeah.
Somebody asked in the chat, I think it was Q. He said, what about the unspoken expectations?
I want to say something to that effect because of what he just said. I feel like I came into this marriage with the unspoken expectations that I would be the primary cook and the primary person to take care of our home. And the reason for that is I was raised in a Haitian household and it was very traditional, where women are taught to be domestic. And I'm also the oldest of 5 kids, and I was pretty much another parent. And so I took care of everybody else. And so it was refreshing and surprising to step into a marriage where my husband wanted to take care of me and serve me in that way. And till now, it's so hard to receive, because I've been hardwired and programmed to be the one to serve all the time, even many times to like not to my benefit. But he takes a complete load off, where he's like, babe, I got it. Let me take care of you. You've been taking care of everybody else your whole life. And this is what I prayed for, but it's so hard to receive it.
That's a word. That's a word.
I wanted to ask, we're speaking to expectations that were unrealistic, but how about the expectations that were realistic? So, for example, in our pre-engagement counseling, shout out to Pastor Ernst again, we spoke about expectations like around the household. And I hate laundry and I hate taking out the trash. And some of my close friends would joke and be like, Sabena doesn't even know where the trash area is, or she doesn't even know where the laundry room is, because literally this man listened during pre-engagement counseling, and I do not have to take out the trash, and I do not have to do laundry.
Me too.
I never thought that was a thing. So wait, let's talk about the job, but don't do it correct.
Ayana is going through something.
Ayana, have a good night, Ayana. Good night.
My gosh.
I'm trying to have a good night, if you understand what I'm saying.
But
George,
so those were the two things that I didn't expect
Pray for you, bro.
to have what I had.
Right. And then I think for me it was like Bean was like very much like the meals that she made, and like the encouragement, the love, the support. And I think the biggest thing was like, here was the thing was like, when you integrate somebody into your family, when somebody becomes part of your family, you expect them to like be like you are with your family, like call them on the phone, all that stuff, right? And because I'm in New York, right? So I'm around her family all the time. What's up, Joey? What's up, Joey? What's up, Joey?
For those who don't know, they are sisters.
Yeah, they are sisters.
We are sisters.
George washes the dishes and the rice grains.
Dang! Yo, Ayana is venting right now. She venting.
She's venting.
George,
we allow every perspective.
brother. I wanted to say though that so in the beginning it was like Sabena, like I expect you to be like around my family, like and call my family and stuff like that. And we met a little bit of contention at first, and then like out of nowhere she just understood, and that's why I feel like I knew she was my wife, because Sabena was able to, like, if there was something that she needed to understand, she would take time to understand it, like, and take time to like sift through it and really break it down and be like, you know what? I get where he's coming from, and let me really just test this and do it. So Bean started calling my mom, she started calling she started like, let's invite, like this week, my older sister's coming into town. Shantae. And yeah, we're going to be spending time with her.
Shantae?
Yeah. And so like, Beans is like, I feel like, I was like, dang, where were you my entire life? Like, where was you at?
At Life Church?
Where was you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like you were the missing part. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's cute. That's cute.
And that's what it was, bro. And now it's like, every time my mama calls,
he got that good proof on.
She be like, my mom be like, where is Bean? Where is Bean at? Like, I'll be like,
is there expectation? I have a question. I have a question for the ladies and the ladies in the chat. Is there expectation that your wife or girlfriend has to build a relationship with your family or your mother? If you have a relationship with your mother, is that an expectation?
Like they have to have a relationship with them?
Huh?
No, like they have to have it.
Yeah, yes, they have to have that relationship with them.
I would say this. I'm gonna go first since I brought it up. Like I feel like I'm not a person of force, so it's kind of like, yeah, I wanted it, but then it's just like, okay, I'm gonna let it blossom. Like in the beginning, there was a contention between Sabena and my best friend, so it's like after that contention, I was like, kept trying to make them be friends, right? I was like, y'all gotta be friends because we friends. And then, but I realized, like, I'm trying to force something that just needs to happen naturally.
Okay.
It needs to blossom, right? I'm sitting up here trying to maintain something that literally just needs to just blossom, right?
That's so good.
And it did. And they developed their own relationship, and like, well, friendship rather, outside of our relationship.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, like, okay.
Yeah. Like,
and it happened because I wasn't trying to control it. I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to micromanage it. Like, and Sabena took the reign, man. She just, like, her and my best friend, they were like,
he also took the reign too.
Yeah, they
took
both
the
did.
Time to get to know each other.
Right.
He had to learn me through his lens and not through Fred's. That was like the biggest thing. But
There-
to answer
Okay.
Anthony's
That's
question,
good.
and we'll let the chat jump in.
Yeah.
But the expectation was put on me to, of course,
Yeah.
get to know his family and not just get to know them, but have a great relationship. But at first, again, if it's forced, it's always hard. You just gotta like let it happen organic,
Right.
and it did. And I love them. Like I have 3 new sisters who are crazy. Like I love them, crazy good. So we all vibe. We all have strong personality, so it's perfect. Like we don't have to talk softly and on ice shells with each other. We can just go at it. So I do love them. Do I feel like that expectation is important to have? I feel like if it's forced, that's not the healthiest way about it. But I think it is important to have that connection with your sister-in-laws or brother-in-laws, because it just makes everything so much easier. Like life is just great. Like you just literally feel like you feel that expansion of your family.
Yeah, there you go.
He took my word.
You know what I'm saying?
And it also makes it easier when children become involved.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
That part,
You
that
trust
part,
them, yeah.
that part right there.
You
Yeah.
trust them completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know who's around your kids. Like,
Exactly.
come
You
on.
want to elaborate on that?
I mean, in our case, he came into the picture with his daughter, who's now my kid. And so I knew it was important. It was always important for me to have a relationship with my in-laws. Even before I met my husband, there were certain declarations that I made over what I wanted that relationship to look like and be like years before I met him. And
what's up, Todd?
hey, Todd.
Hey,
And I
Todd.
told him, both him and my sister-in-law, I told them that I feel like I hit the jackpot with the in-laws because I met them last summer. We went to Orlando for the purpose of meeting his family because I knew that he wanted me to meet them before he decided to propose. And I wasn't nervous, but when I got there, they were so warm and so welcoming. They acted like I was a long lost relative that was finally coming back home. And like I was telling my girls yesterday, I was like, the last time we were over there, my father-in-law refers to my biological dad as my other dad. He's like, how's your other dad? Because you know I'm your dad too.
He loved him some Joannah, man.
He does.
Oh man.
Yeah, they really took her in, and for me, I didn't have the expectation where like she has to have, like, obviously I want her to meet my family, right? But I didn't have the expectation where they had to like be super close and all of that. I just wanted to at least where there's a respect level.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what direction it's going to go. Even though that I knew that they would love her and she would love like my family.
Where the camera
My
going?
family, like, they're super welcoming, they're super loving, they show love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you know, they're just that type of family. But at the same time, you just never know what's going to happen. And I never want to put the expectation like, okay, you have to have a super close relationship with my sister. You have to have a super close relationship with my mother. You have to have a super close relationship with my father, or even with my daughter. It was really more like I need that respect. But obviously, you would want, right? You don't want to. I never want to put that pressure on her or on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even on them, because that's a lot, right? And you don't want them to fake the funk just because then it's not going to be genuine. It's just going to be a very awkward situation. But I was very grateful that they took her in like, yo, you part of the family already. You know what I'm saying? And just that embracement, his embrace with that. So
That's
I
beautiful.
think the biggest thing, what I would advise anybody that who is in a situation or who's looking to be married or in a relationship, or maybe even struggling, pray on it. Ask God to, to at least cover over your relationship or the relationship that you want them to have. And then at least just don't let it be forced. Just like what Beans was saying and Fred was saying, let it blossom on its own. Let it become natural. Let them learn that person through their own lens, because then that's the only way that they can build a respectful relationship and a true organic relationship with that individual.
Right.
anything else in that, it's just going to just be a forced situation. And this is where you're going to kind of run into like issues. And if they, for whatever reason, they don't get along, just have it to at least they can respect each other when they're around each other.
That's beautiful.
It is definitely,
Beautiful.
most definitely. It's like, you know, when you have a job interview, like, and they're telling you about a candidate, like this is your candidate, this is this person that we know, and then it's like, yeah, we know them, but we got to get to know them for ourselves. We got to get to know this person and their work ethic and what they do by their actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so good.
That's one of those things.
So good.
I think one of the last.
I think Anthony.
Anthony, you got started?
He's trying to tap in.
Oh.
Me? Do I have a tap in? I don't got no tap in.
You asked a question,
You
bro.
asked a question.
No, I
You
just wanted to know
gotta
your thoughts.
Go ahead.
The last question that we had was like the question that we answered, which is our podcast tomorrow. Do y'all, ladies, do you guys believe that marriage makes you happy or content? Or do you have another view? Okay.
Let's define content.
See, my wife wants to do it.
I was going to say, define the words.
Does marriage make you happy or content? Go ahead, baby.
Content means in a state of peaceful happiness.
Give him the other one.
Or a state of satisfaction. And then happiness.
Yeah, see, she doing exactly what I did, Anthony.
Yeah, I see.
Happiness is the state of being happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just start. I feel like that's a loaded question to say, does it make you happy? Like, happy is just like a whole, like, it's a whole different, yes, marriage fulfills me. Marriage gives me purpose. Marriage, it's like I'm in a combination of happiness and contention. Like, I'm like contentness. I'm in a state of happiness. There's not, it's not all like laughs and giggles, but you learn so much that you're like, I don't want to do this life any other way. So I would say both. Yeah. There's no.
It's both.
Yeah. Happiness is a loaded question. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Who we got next?
I agree.
Nelly, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. I agree with Beans. Like, it's both. It's not, because I feel like you have moments like happiness. Like, you're gonna be happy one day. You might be angry another day. You might be excited, right? Like, that's gonna go back and forth. But the content piece is like, I'm sure about my person, right? I'm sure about my partner. And I think, even down to how I feel, how I express that our everyday life, like that piece, like the commitment is there, right? The commitment means that I'm showing up, means that every day, whether my emotions are happy, sad, whatever, that I'm still content in the relationship that I am in. But I'm also happy. Like, I'm also happy to be married. I'm happy to do life with a person, right? I'm happy to do life with Anthony, like just everyday life. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Joanna?
I have a slightly different take. My journey to marriage happened a little bit later than my friends here. So I feel like I didn't go into marriage looking for it to make me happy or content. I had that already. What it did, it quadrupled it.
Yeah.
Like, it brought so much more joy, so much more contentment.
And that's it.
Because I never
more.
Because he's a flawed human being just as I am, and I don't ever want to put the pressure on him to make me happy or to be responsible for how.
That's so good.
Yeah.
No matter what's happening between us, I wake up choosing joy. I wake up choosing how my attitude and my perception of our marriage to be one that's positive. I know I'm in this with him all the way, and he definitely adds so much joy to my life.
Chocolate drop.
I love that. I love that.
Anthony.
What?
Y'all talking about Greek over there.
I really want to end this with, like, what's the biggest thing you want to like attribute to your partner? Like, what do you want to say? Like the biggest thing that you love about your partner? And I want husbands and wives to answer this.
Ooh.
The biggest thing that you love about your
Let me take
partner.
a sip for this.
I said,
And something I learned, you gotta look at your partner and say it.
all right, Anthony, I was gonna add that, but hey, we on the same wavelength.
You gotta look at your partner and say it.
Okay. Since you said that, Anthony, you want to start it?
I knew you was gonna go that route. I saw
Anthony,
it.
you've been married the longest. You gotta start it.
Right. You got 3 years under your belt, kid.
Right.
All right.
3 years.
Your marriage is a toddler, officially.
Exactly.
It is.
It's a 2-piece, 3-piece.
So I am honored and I love you so much. And I'm thankful for you. You are my everything. You are my person. You're my lover. You're my beautiful jerk chicken.
Anthony's hungry.
Anthony,
I'm gonna get to the question. What's the question
Not
again? I can
Anthony
put it
being
in?
the
hungry.
question is, what is the
Forgot.
biggest attribute you appreciate about your partner?
Anthony, you're not at Golden Cross, bro.
You know I'm hungry. You allow me to be me. And that sometimes it's weird for you and unique and different, but you allow me to be me, and I appreciate that. And I'm thankful for you.
That was good.
Look at her smiling. Look at that smile.
Go to the room.
With some oxtail
Little
and
Thompson,
gravy.
come and say it.
For me, my biggest attribute that I really love about you, and I think every day, is that you're just funny. Like, you make me laugh.
I'm a clown.
Yeah, sometimes, I'm trying to be serious, but no, it's good, because even if I'm upset, even if something happens, I feel like you make me laugh, and it breaks that. Like, I can't stay in that space, and I enjoy it because I have such a heavy job, and so your laughter is like soothing. It's my way of decompressing. It's all of that.
Got that talk, baby.
Come on. I knew it.
It was only a matter of time.
I love it.
You go.
Oh, dang. Okay. No, I'm playing. Oh, you want me to talk to you?
You brush your teeth, bro?
I'm gonna say that later. You know? I'm gonna talk to you extra nice after this IG is looking.
Oh, man.
So, baby, I appreciate your heart for your family so much. That's one of the biggest things that really attracted me to you, is like your heart for your family and people around you. The way you love ministry, and you love God, and you love me. So, yeah, that's my thing.
I would say the biggest thing that I appreciate about you is that you are relentless. You're not giving up on this marriage. Like, every day you're pushing through. You're trying to do as much as you can to make me happy and serve me and love on me. And even when I'm not the easiest person, you're just always going all in. And it literally, it would break my heart to hurt you because of that. So it's just, you're giving this everything you got, and I see it, and I appreciate it.
Aww.
You know we gotta come next.
I love you.
I love you.
Get a room.
Oh, I got one. Yeah, I actually got 2.5.
You got
Okay. What about y'all, Zamor?
Oh, wait. Look at George.
George said, "I love how creative wife."
And you also can put it in the chat in regards of your partner or the person you're with.
Most definitely.
Right in the chat.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Which I got Jeff and Joey. Jay.
Right. So I'll start it off. The biggest attribute and the thing that I love about you the most is you wake up with love. You just like, I don't think I've ever met somebody who's so loving. And it's not only just with me, it's with everybody. Like, you love people. You show so much joy in people, and it reflects on our marriage. And I know that I have somebody who is gonna rock with me no matter what. I know I have somebody who is going to be my right, who will be my hater. I know I have somebody who is going to be my partner, and who not only loves me, but loves my daughter, our daughter. And it's just amazing. It's every day I sit there and I'm like, man, I'm really, really, truly humble, truly, truly grateful that God has given me such an amazing, beautiful person.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You're such a hard mark.
She was ready from the gate. She about to clock out.
He wrote that down.
You ready to clock out?
Okay.
Joanna, your turn.
One of the attributes that I absolutely love and adore about you is how selfless you are. You're completely selfless in the way that you show up for other people. Like, I'm always astounded by the fact that you're willing to inconvenience yourself, even though you don't see it as an inconvenience, to be there for other people, whether it's for me or there was one time, y'all, my sister, not Bina, her car broke down on the side of the highway 2 hours away.
Oh, yeah.
He dropped what he was doing to drive to go get her and bring her to where she was trying to get to. And that was one, and we weren't even engaged yet at that point. And those were one of the many instances in which you just are so selfless. And I love that about you, because that definitely shows up in our marriage. And I love how you love me. Thank you, baby.
Another one.
Another one. I might actually get his clothes off tonight, y'all.
Oh.
Yo, this has been a great one.
Yes.
Before we get out of here, tomorrow's a holiday. Tomorrow's Top Shelf Tuesday.
Top Shelf
Make
Tuesday.
Sure y'all tune in. Tune in. So y'all can hear our responses and our answers. Like, y'all get the full scope of what we was talking about. Does marriage make you happy or content?
Right.
Season 3. Jeff, can you tell them where they can find this episode that's coming out?
Of course. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. You can check us out on our website, www.thetopshelfpodcast.com. Again, that's www.thetopshelfpodcast.com. You can also check out on Anchor as well. If you don't know what Anchor is actually owned by Spotify. It's where we do actually a lot of our recordings. So you can check us out on there. You can also check us out on Stitcher. Stitcher is another platform as well. Pretty much almost any platform where you listen to your favorite podcast, check us out on there.
Yeah, and make sure y'all know, like, merch is coming soon. More episodes to come. Make sure y'all tune in on all of those platforms that are available. And before we get out of here, we want to do this with our teammates. What is y'all word of the week?
Yeah, so take 10 seconds. Think about y'all word. What y'all going to decide for the word for y'all week. So, me and...
I can't stand.
Oh, we're going to... get together.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, wait, we're doing it together?
Yeah, I mean, we can do it like y'all word.
Yo, George.
You a clown, bro.
Oh, man.
Wait, they're doing this together.
Y'all can do y'all together, like.
Yeah, we're doing it together.
I already have the word. I just got to see wifey if we agree with this.
Ooh.
Yeah. We in there like swim with.
Is it? Okay. It's just one word.
How many words y'all got?
Shout out to Tim if he's still on here.
Oh, man. Shout out to everybody on the chat, man. We appreciate you.
Yo, thank you guys. And if you like this, please let us know. Hit us up in a DM, and we can have more of these conversations. Janelle said make sure you give her 3-week notice. So, Joanna about to write 10 emails right now.
I mean,
while we still waiting for the Colliers.
Are they still talking about the word of the week, or they talking about something else? What they about to have for dinner?
Okay, all right, sorry about that.
Y'all were be
we had to send it to HR. We had to send it to HR. Okay.
Is it the word of the week with the definition?
I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to, if you feel so obliged.
All right.
What's your word of the week?
So our word for the week is intentional.
I like that.
I like that.
I like
Our word for the week is celebrate.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
Our word of the week is butt naked. Since she's over here complaining, I don't sleep with I sleep with clothes
y'all know
on.
what's going down.
Butts
We
naked.
married.
Babe, let's drink to that.
Let's drink to that. I ain't got nothing in here. But
Now, word of the week is patience. Patience.
Free the balls.
Now let's stick to butt naked. Jesus is in that.
Freeze the balls.
Tips and tricks.
Yo, that's crazy. That's bad funny, yo. Let us know y'all word of the week.
Oh,
What's your word of the week?
I seen diligence.
We seen diligence.
Also compromising.
What else we got?
Free the balls.
Free the balls.
Yo, Ayana.
Ayana is going in, yo. I love Ayana.
Yo, this is her type of conversations.
Yo,
son, it's marriage.
Yo, we should have had Ayana and George one here, man. Word up.
Yeah,
Yo,
we should have
somehow.
Joy. Oh, I love that.
Joy.
Because I already know.
Patience.
Compromising.
Compromising.
We got compromising,
a lot
right?
of that. There's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of that.
Yeah.
Carl.
Oh my God. Yo, Ayana, do y'all want to hear what Ayana said?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see it?
Yep.
She said, "Do the helicopter." We love you guys. Please tune in tomorrow. Subscribe, share
Most
it.
definitely.
Listen to our perspective because we have way different perspective and line it up with our wives, our beautiful other half. So let's build a better tomorrow.
That's it. Make sure y'all tune in. Tomorrow's a holiday. We love y'all. See y'all next Monday. Hey.
I like naked cartwheel.
Yo, George, you wildin', son. We see y'all next Monday.
Tips and tricks.
We all like naked cartwheels, all right?
Hey, yo, how you do that?
Anthony said, I ain't never did a cartwheel. Nigga said, I did a cart. Oh my God. Yo, I'm trying to have a good night.
You gotta have a tool for that chair.
Oh my God.
Yo, Anthony tried, oh God, I ain't even gonna go there. I got another joke. I ain't gonna tell it. I ain't gonna tell it.
All right, tips and tricks, we out.
Peace, y'all.
Yo, one love.
One love.